Now, the round of 16 is currently underway. Quite a bit to unpack, the teams that have moved over to the quarterfinals, those who haven't made it as well, looking at some of the players in actual fact that have been relieved from their duties when it comes to AFCON because of injuries. I think so much to unpack when it comes to this round's Africa Cup of Nations, and we're going to be doing this with the editor of Far Post. This is Mto, who's going to be giving us a rundown of yesterday's happenings. Of course, people are discussing, particularly in Southern Africa, what happened with Bafana Bafana. I will say that I commend the team, but that's just me. Moving on, still in the first hour of the show, we're going to be touching base with the ambassador of Venezuela to South Africa. This is Carlos Feo Acevedo, who will be talking about the country's resilience as a part of their self-development. There's quite a bit happening in Venezuela. We will be unpacking that and, of course, gauging the story behind it all to say that these individuals, this cluster of individuals, this nation is still looking to pierce forward amidst the strife and the struggle. And then in the second hour of the show, we touch base with the winner of a green circular economy competition. She is only 17 years old. 7 currently owns a company. It is an e-waste recycling company, and she'll walk us through the ins and outs. They're looking to deal with electronic waste, and so if you're thinking, I don't know where to throw this electronic device, these batteries, these things, they come and collect it. And then they refurbish, they recycle, they repurpose. They are responsible for such. And I think it's just fantastic because we have had a conversation on air where we're like, what do we do with our batteries that they say don't throw in the dustbin? Where do you put them? My question to you this evening, where have you put those batteries? Did you throw them in the dustbin after you were clearly told not to do so? Anyway, 4 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African time. This is African Diaries. Welcome to it.
African Diaries, weekdays, 10 till midnight.
Aconteceu. Desejo de estar perto, te flavo que te perdemos. Quando Deus fazia certeza que está pensava na mim. Não me aproxima sem sentir, mas bem no fundo não sabia que aquele mesmo barulho que dá vida dele, que foi usado para bem de meu. Incrível forma que bota que mão, que me esticou para nós de amor também. Boa felicidade. Se por acaso alguém duvida, flaco força, boa amor de meu. Mulher tem vida e boa, única que completa. Sou boa, chega já bastante, nunca tem mais nenhum. Mulher tem vida e boa, única que completa. Sou boa, chega já bastante, nunca tem mais nenhum. Minha codebo. Nada que te compara. Nosso coração é só. Até estrelas já notamos aqui não tá brilhando. Nunca criei outro menina. O amor e diabo convenceu. Nosso coração tá combinando. Que o quadro que dá não fim de cor. Foi mesmo tela que pintou nosso amor. Coisa que falta pra mim convenceu. Me apaixonaram pra desde o liceu. Pra morir bom. Única que Nunca cremas nenhum mulher que acabou. Ué, ué, ué. Mulher de minha vida, só porque sabe amar, que compra, só porque tá com sua botiga já, só porque sabe fazer ninguém te realiza. Mulher de minha vida, pô, única que completa, sua botiga já basta. Nunca crê mais nenhum, não, 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 não. Na, 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 na. Got it.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
I say la campagne tropicana. Me I don't I dem take the marijuana. Joanna, Juba, di Biomogana. Onjo Omlando for me, moya gbe los Skoda. Who and me guy, even me got think I give up for. Me I done the streets since when them sing gongo. Apala no be soca, see my team them no be feeder. Premier League is not UEFA, small body my engine bigger gun. When you show up, to power, oja desita, and no she do rela, me Godzilla, Maradona, Yolo Coachella, Manuela,
His name is Ashake, and he was keeping quite a bunch company in Johannesburg, South Africa this past weekend. This one titled Joha. Before that, we had Gary coming through, and that one titled Unica, taking us to Angola. That one alongside Looney Johnson.
Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter? Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard? Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126. And we will call you back so you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So yeah, that's who I am, you know.
It's not just talk. It's your chance to air your views. Share your opinion. Engage with the community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready to share your views on Channel Africa, the African perspective. As the sun rises on 2026, Channel Africa celebrates with you. This year, may prosperity flow like water. May unity strengthen our nations. And may every African story inspire the world.
Chanel Afrique vous accompagne dans cette célébration. Que l'espoir illumine notre continent.
Que as vozes de África ecoem com orgulho.
From all of us at Channel Africa, we wish you and yours a joyful, successful, and prosperous 2026.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Africa's voices, Africa's journeys. They're all on African Diaries.
It is 12 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African time. If you have just joined us, welcome to it. This is African Diaries. Shayla and Dikumana keeping you company, and we've got together to hang, to chill, to detox, de-stress, and just scribe in this diary as we simmer out of the day that has been. We're going to kickstart off with looking at what is taking place in Africa for Africans by Africans, and that is the African Cup of Nations. And we touch base with none other than Mto, who will be joining us on the line in just a short bit, just to look at the context that we find ourselves in. Who's qualified post the round of 16? I know that the round of 16 is currently underway, and there are teams that have made it to the quarterfinals, and there are teams that haven't. Mto is on the line. He is the editor of Far Post, and he joins us to unravel this conversation. Mto, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to African Diaries again.
Thank you so much, and good evening to the listeners.
I'm told quite a bit has happened. Yeah, outside South R going through what it's gone through. There's a bit to unpack. Let's talk about those who have qualified to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so I think the first one was obviously a very dramatic match between Mali and Tunisia, which was handled by South African referee Abongile Tom. That Mali, a 10-man Mali getting through to the quarterfinals, and then we also saw Senegal, coming back from 1-0 down to beat Sudan 3-1, and so Senegal are also through to the quarterfinals. And then yesterday, heartbreak in Rabat. I was sitting at the stadium watching Bafana, having a good start, but eventually losing 2-1. So Bafana back home. And then we also saw Morocco, the hosts, beating Tanzania 1-0 and getting through to the quarterfinals. And then earlier today, Egypt also booked their spot when they beat Benin 3-1. And then right now I'm in Fez. I'm watching Nigeria playing against Mozambique. 3-0 Nigeria lead. It means no Southern African team will get into the quarterfinal because Mozambique were the only remaining Southern African team in the competition. So a 3-0 down in second half. So there's no coming back from this one.
Sure. I know that you have a feeling about that, right? There's a sentiment you have. You expected Mozambique to show up for us, didn't you?
I really wanted them to go through. This is the first time they're in the knockout stages. I was hoping they would get into the quarters and at least represent Southern Africa, or SADC if you want to call it. But they're neighbors after all, so they've got to, we've got to support them. But unfortunately, it's not looking good for them. Nigeria overpowering them.
Sure. Let's talk about Morocco's Azadine Ounahi, who has been ruled out of the rest of the tournament. Leg injury, what happened?
Look, I think it's in a tournament like this, you obviously will get a lot of injuries, but I do think that Morocco have a lot of quality in their squad. They are the hosts. They've actually started off very well. I think they have enough arsenal to see the tournament through.
And I know that Tunisia has parted ways with their coach. What happened there?
And it's quite interesting. This is what makes African football what it is. Obviously, there's been even complaints from players as well. One of the players Brihanipal, who plays for Burnley in England, came out to say that as Tunisia, we have a long way to go in terms of our football. He was not happy because they played almost 80 minutes with against 10-man Mali, but they were still unable to get that goal, to get those goals to win the game. Mali equalizing, in the last minute to then go on and win after a penalty shootout. So even the coach as well, the association not happy with him, obviously because he couldn't beat Mali. It's a results game after all. They've taken a decision to get rid of the coach, and it happened. The same thing happened in Ivory Coast as well. They did the same thing when they were knocked out. So it looks like a trend in Tunisia.
Let's talk about Gabon government, right? I know that quite a bit. How did they suspend their national team? Like, I need to understand the nuances of these decisions that are being made.
Yeah, ridiculous and very dangerous because FIFA frowns upon interference by government in football. So that decision also, I was actually surprised because I think they know very well that FIFA does not want governments to be to interfere in the running of football. But nonetheless, they took that decision. We did speak to the Gabon coach just after they were not in the last game that they played, and he did say that he was not going to continue with the team. He was happy to step down. Obviously there were a lot of things that happened in the build up to the tournament. But yeah, once they got back, the government then decided to suspend everyone. I don't know who they will replace them with, but maybe because there is no competition they are going to get involved in anytime soon. So they have a bit of time to make whatever decision they have to make. So yeah, that's the situation.
And of course, with all that has unfolded, I want to gauge from you who you think will take this African Cup of Nations, this 2025-2026. I know that quite a few are saying that the odds and the favors lie with Morocco, the hosts, and then this followed by Senegal and Nigeria. What's your feel?
Look, at some point I thought the hosts, but just watching this Nigeria team right now,
yeah,
I'm really afraid.
Wow.
I think they have fight in them. They don't play the most beautiful, football, but they have fight. After scoring one goal, they kept going, on and on and on. They've got 3 goals now. This makes them the highest scoring team in this tournament, which is a bit unusual. In the last AFCON at this stage, I don't think they had scored this number of goals that they've scored. Today alone they've scored 3 goals. No other team in the last 16 has scored 3 goals and not conceded any. Of course, the game is still on, but you can see they have quality. Victor Osimhen is in top form. Ademola Lookman is in top form. They are both scoring goals left, right, and center. So I think if I were to choose one team, I would say Nigeria will go all the way. They were finalists in the last AFCON. They lost in the finals, so they definitely know how to win this kind of tournament.
Sure. Mtho, let's cap it at there for now. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. The voice there of the editor of Far Post, Mtho, joining us live in the action, in actual fact, all the way in Morocco as he witnesses AFCON. It is 21 after 10 p.m. Central African time.
Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
The United States was very vocal at the beginning of South Africa's G20 presidency, and this is largely due to strained relations with South Africa at the time, that they were not really keen on participating. Where do they stand right now?
The US is planning to take over the presidency of the G20 next year, and our understanding from them is that they intend to continue to do so, and therefore it is quite difficult then to be in a situation where you are not attending deputies' meetings or discussions during our presidency and then to take over the presidency next year. From a finance track perspective, there has been engagement. We've been working on a communique last week and this week here in Zimbabwe. What's important about that is that it's a consensus document. And so all the members in the room have to agree to the language that is used there. And our US colleagues have been part of those discussions and negotiations.
Bringing the African markets into your home. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Channel Africa, where every moment is an African celebration. Feel the energy, feel the connection. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Yeah, Starboy Day for you. Starboy Day for you. Baby girl, you find yourself though. Girl, you make my eye red oh. Anytime you know they close to me, yeah. Baby girl, now you I want to. Baby, shey na me you want to. Make we day 1 + 1 or 2, yeah. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. It be only you be my desire, oh. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. Only your water be burn my fire, oh. Yeah. Starboy Day for you. Starboy Day for you. Everywhere you go, baby girl, you be my handbag. Gone are the days when me and you just stand for. Yeah. Making it right, make it just the stand for you, though. So good. Open up my mind, and only you did my mind, though. Yeah. Baby girl, you find yourself, though. Girl, you make my eye red, though. Anytime you know they close to me, yeah. Baby girl, now you I want, though. Baby, shey na me you want, though. Make we day 1 + 1 or 2, yeah. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. It be only you be my desire, oh. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. Only your water be burn my fire, oh. Yeah. Starboy Day for you. Starboy Day for you. This kind of love where I get see no corny, yo. Baby, I'm gonna share with you to the morning, yo. This way I'm gonna do for you, girl, you know funny, yo. Don't be gonna love, man, use you play, although everywhere you go, baby, I go be your handbag. Gone are the days when I go let you stand for. Yeah. Making it right, make it just the stand for you, though. So good. Open up my mind, and only you did my mind, though. Yeah. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. It be only you be my desire, oh. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. Only your water be burn my fire, oh.
African Diaries on Channel Africa. African Diaries, weekdays, 10 till midnight.
This song tara mama nangande song is a dog. Dendong tara makaya kate song is a dog. Mi moga mi jona va kang kang when a song is a dog. Maybe sa do if a vyat when a song is a dog. Gambo ganga bakarde bodna re jang mayebu. Dumaka wu banyang gang kula bakurma wuwa. Yeba yala babana ye bonda babom gampag. Yebi kobi pinga ye majang babom gampaga. Kurganya wuwa. Gambo ga wuwa. Jamgan le boga. Jamgani sani. Yege 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 yege. This song tara mama nangane song is a dog. Dendong tara makaya kate song is a dog. Mi moga mi jona ba kang kang when a song is a dog. Baby sa do if a vyat when a song is a dog. Gambo ganga bakarde bodna ni jang mayebu. Gamaka wu banyang gang kula bakurma wuwa. Yeba yala babana ye bonda babom gampag. Yebi kobi pinga ye majang babom gampaga. Kurganya wuwa. Gambo ga wuwa. Jamgani sani. Jamgan le boga. Mi war mi jona. Kurganya wuwa. Gambo ga wuwa. Jamgani sani. Yege 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 yege. Yege 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 yege. Kurganya wuwa. Gambo ga wuwa. Jamgan le boga. Mi war mi jona. Yege 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 yege. Yege 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 yege. This song tara mama nangane song is a dog. Dendong tara makaya karte song is a dog. Mi moga mi jona va kang kang when a song is a dog. Baby sa do if a vyat when a song is a dog. Gambo ganga bakarde bodna ni jang mayebu. Gamaka wu banyang gang kula bakurma wuwa. Yeba yala babana ye bonda babom gampa. Yebi kobi pinga ye majang babom gampaga. Kurganya wuwa. Gambo ga wuwa. Jamgan le boga. Mi war mi jona. Kurganya wuwa. Gambo ga wuwa. Jamgan le boga. Jamgani sani. Yege yege mama ye junta mama. Yege 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 yege. Aburu yesa yesa mama ye junta na kwa. Yege 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 yege. Man makela junum dum ya matanga ngali gama jongi. Aburu yesa yesa mama ye junta na kwa. Man makela junum dum ya matanga ngali gama jongi.
Beautiful music coming through. This one by Sally Nyolo, and this one is titled Songiseto. That was released in 2008. If you've just joined us, welcome to it. Triple treat keeping us company there. Amanda Black setting the tone for the next conversation with that one titled Power, released in 2019. And that taken off a track titled Album, that being Power, which I know so happens to be her second studio album. And then we started off with Wizkid and that one titled Fever, released in 2018. And that was a single, as opposed to it being part of a full body of work. I know that there were conversations to have it in a full body of work. However, we see it stand as a single. If you've just joined us and you're wondering what is the second conversation that you're talking about, firstly, Happy New Year. Welcome to African Diaries. The name is Shayla Ndikumana, and I've got you for the next hour and 24 minutes. My brain is still working. That's how we check if the brain is working. 36 after 10 p.m. Central African time. The conversation that we're about to step into is one that brings context to Venezuela. But before we do that, I want us to get into the words of Bill, who is a sports psychologist. This is Bill Beswick, and he's going to be giving us his thoughts, his views on a title, the subject matter, Inside the Mind of a Winner.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
So that you get athletes who just turn up. They'll turn up, they'll do the requisite amount of work, but that's it. Athletes will turn up to compete, they put a bit more effort in, they try to be the best amongst their group. Then there's the athletes who train to win. They train every day, every session, so that they win on match night. And then there are just those very few players who train to dominate. They train so hard that winning is inevitable on race night.
The English coach is Bill Bessick from Manchester. This side of yours is unbeaten thus far. Do you think that they can maintain it tonight?
Well, it won't be for want of trying. It's a good record to have, and it's a tough one to maintain, New Zealand in New Zealand, but it's going to be a great game.
There, in fact, all of these top four teams have been remarkably close. Were you confident at any stage that you could win it?
I think you give it your best shot. It's a bit like Rocky 1, 2, and 3. You go out there, you prepare, and you give it your best shot. And that's what we said today. We had a team meeting. We said we're going to give it our best shot.
And my three questions are, what do you want? How badly do you want it? And how much are you willing to suffer?
The voice there of Bill Beswick, and he is a sports psychologist, one who was behind some of the wins by teams from the UK. And that particular audio is taken off a visual titled Inside the Mind of a Winner. And the context that we are setting is that of Venezuela. Venezuela has been navigating a period of intense political, economical, and diplomatic pressure, yet its people continue to endure, to adapt, and to press forward. Today, we are joined by the ambassador of Venezuela to South Africa, who will lay out the context for us. And of course, the idea and the context is to really gauge where the country of Venezuela finds themselves and how we can pull from their strength of resilience. Joining us this evening is Ambassador Carlos Feo Acevedo. Thank you so much for joining us, Ambassador. Welcome to African Diaries.
Thank you very much for calling me. It's a pleasure to be with you to share some aspects of Venezuela, of my country, and the current situation that is very complex also.
Yeah, I think let's start up by just ironing out the context that Venezuela finds itself in.
Yes, as you have seen in last Saturday, 3 of January, we have been targeted by a U.S. criminal and terrorist strikes, terrorist attacks against our country, against our people, without any legal justification. They bomb our territory, they kill civilian and military people, they destruct critical infrastructure, and finally they kidnap the President of the Republic, President Nicolás Maduro, and the First Lady Celia Flores. It has been a criminal and terrorist act that is not only against the Venezuelan people, against the Venezuelan government, but also against the international law, against the UN Charter, against this international legal frame that has been built in order to allow us as countries live in community. They have broke this international legal frame, and it's a precedent very dangerous, not for Venezuela, but for all the countries, especially in our region, in our Latin American and Caribbean region, neighboring the USA. So it's a sad day. It's a very concerning and an outrageous situation. But as you said, as you were talking on resilience, we are a people that is willing to defend our independence, our sovereignty, our life, our country, and continue to build this country that we call Venezuela.
Ambassador, let's talk about the efforts that we see in your resilience. What is the Republic doing? I know that there are reports that people are protesting and not really accepting of the interim president that has been sworn in. That is Delcy Rodriguez. Let's talk about the other efforts that we see both in government and on the ground when it comes to how people are tackling this issue.
You know, this attack has been very tough, very hard. They violate our sovereignty, our country. It has been a very big strike against our dignity, against our national dignity. They kidnapped our president. And it's also a physical attack, but also a moral attack, what they intend to do now, because as you know, the USA and the Western countries control what has their hegemony on media and can spread the news as they want. That's why we can see some images of people celebrating the kidnapping of President Maduro, of people rejecting the nomination of the deputy president Delcy Rodriguez as now the acting president of Venezuela. But you cannot see what really happened in our country. You see millions of people rejecting the US military intervention in our country and willing to live in peace and willing to live in a normal life. These images is not easy to find, but there are been happening. That's why I recommend always to look for other sources. We have Telesur, that is a multi-state media in our region, where we can see those images of people reclaiming the release of President Nicolas Maduro, not only in Venezuela, but also in other countries, especially also in the USA. In Times Square, there has been a big demonstration asking for the release of President Nicolas Maduro. Saturday, yesterday, Sunday, and today also we saw this street manifestation, street demonstrations in New York. So is to say that this huge attempt against the international law, against the sovereignty of a country, is also accompanied by a narrative spread by this propaganda media, this mainstream that they still control today.
Ambassador, we want to talk about organizations such as the UN and their ability to facilitate this conversation. Because one thing that you have said that was striking is that these are false accusations and these are going against the grain of the sovereignty of Venezuela. To what extent can the UN pierce through this matter?
Yes. To do what they do on Saturday, they built a fake narrative attacking the president and accusing him of being involved in drug trafficking. Is amazing. They just built this in less than 1 year and spread it all over the world without any proof, even going against what their own DEA reports has stated, that Venezuela is not implicated in the drug trafficking, not even in as a drug producer country. Also, the latest 14 yearly reports of the UN Organization for Drugs and Crime has stated that Venezuela is a free country, free producer country of drugs, and also free trade country on drugs. So we don't produce, we don't trade. But although that, they have decided to create this amazing narrative, this incredible narrative saying that the president Nicolas Maduro is involved in drug trafficking. But we are used to that because they have also create fake narrative to justify interventions, such as they did in Iraq, with this narrative of weapons of mass destruction. but they have also do it in Libya. They are used to that, and South Africa is now a witness in the front line because they are creating also a fake narrative on South Africa, saying that there is a white genocide here in South Africa. It's incredible, it's amazing. But in Venezuela we have suffered this, and that's why they said that they kidnapped our president Nicolas Maduro because he was a drug trafficker. Is a lie, it's a big lie, and they have even unveiled what are their main purpose in Venezuela. The press conference that Trump said just this Saturday said that what they want in Venezuela is oil. You know, Venezuela is the country with the major oil reserves in the world. Is that what they want? Our oil, our land, our mineral resources. And the statement is as crazy as when they said even that they are going to rule our country as we were a colony. But that is something that we are not going to allow them to happen.
The voice there of Ambassador of Venezuela, Carlos Fiu Acevedo, joining us this evening, and we're looking at the current context that Venezuela finds itself in. Ambassador, I want to talk about the sanctions. Of course, these are going to impose harsh conditions economically for the ordinary citizen. How does the country intend to move forward economically?
Yes, the sanctions are still going on. You know, we have more than 1,000 sanctions. That is not real sanctions, it's what we call unilateral coercive measures that has really affected our economy since 2015. So we are 10 years living under these unilateral coercive measures that, as I said, has really affected the economy because the main sector that was targeted in the beginning was the oil sector, and we used to be oil. Our economy depends 90% on oil in that time, 10 years ago, and that really affect our economy. And we are still having problems with our economy. But it's important to say that since 4 years till now, we have been overcome these unilateral coercive measures and create and recover our economy. In those 4 last years, we have seen an increasing progressive of the growth of the economy. That's what also upset them. They saw that with these unilateral coercive measures, they couldn't overthrow our government. They couldn't fix our country. So they decided to go to the next step, that was the military intervention, that direct military intervention.
And Ambassador, we're noticing that the oil production is being cut after the U.S. Export embargo that has halted Venezuelan shipments. Let's talk about how this will then affect the economy as well.
Yes, the sanctions, the unilateral coercive measure affects the oil trade, but also what they do 5 months ago, generating this blockade in our coast with these U.S. military ships that impede to enter or to go out from our coast. It was a blockade, a real blockade on our country, intended to, as I said, to overthrow the regime. They are working in this policy of regime change, but they could not succeed because we are a resilient country. We succeed to overcome this blockade also, and that's what they decide also to go to this military option.
And then lastly, Ambassador, I know that the United Nations and many other countries have condemned the U.S. military operation and have noted this as a crime of aggression and a violation of sovereignty, as you so stated. Now, major powers in the world such as China, Russia, Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia are speaking out. How does this then help Venezuela in its case?
And let me add also South Africa.
Yes,
I
sir.
have to take this opportunity to thank South Africa for the brave and courageous position they have assumed that is linked with their principles of foreign policy, respect of international law, respect of UN Charter. And from the beginning, since same Saturday, they made a clear and a strong statement condemning this U.S. military intervention on Venezuela, but most important, calling for an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council that was held today, just 2 hours ago. It ends, and South Africa also made a good statement in the frame of the UN Security Council meeting that we have. There are many other countries, as you mentioned, Russia, also China has been very strong, but also Iran, Mexico, Colombia, Cuba, Nicaragua. All those are very concerned because it's an attempt not only against Venezuela, but against this international legal frame that is the one who was built to create a peaceful world. And now they are broken it.
I think, Ambassador, as a parting shot, looking ahead, what are the key priorities for Venezuela's recovery at this stage?
First of all, I have to say that the institutions in Venezuela is still in place, the government is still in place. We have succeeded to get the people united in this new phase of the Bolivarian revolution. But one of our main goals now, and we just launched an international solidarity campaign to ask for the release of President Nicolás Maduro, that has been kidnapped in the US, and his wife, Celia Flores, as well, is one of our purposes. On the other hand, we will continue to live as we used to, continue to produce our land, to continue to produce our oil fields, and continue to trade with China, with Russia, that also made the US very upset. But we are going to continue. We're going to resist these imperialist and colonist aggressions that we have been suffering, and now we can count with a huge support as we have been seeing in the last few days, 2 days.
Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us, and we continue to stand. And I suppose this is in the context of South Africa and the other various nations that are standing with you to say that we hope to see a fruitful outcome for Venezuela.
Thank you very much for your support, for your message also. Thank you.
The voice there of the ambassador of the Republic of Venezuela to South Africa, that is Carlos Fio Acevedo, joining us and sharing a story of resilience, one of hope, and one that looks to fight against all odds. 55 after 10 p.m. Central African time.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
Start a relationship and be the doesn't have to be too complicated. Darling, I know you like the simple things. Like a board full of cheese or a day by the beach. I just thought I should speak. Say you're perfect for me. We could be so in love. Can't you see? I like you. What if you and me were meant to be? Can't you see? I like you. I really like you. I like you. I like you. And if we're starting this relationship, won't fool around, I'll honor our commitment. I like the way you got me feeling, babe. And you know me, I like the simple thing. Like that dot on your lip, how you grin when you speak. It feels like a dream when you're right next to me. We could be so in love. Can't you see? I like you. What if you and me were meant to be? Can't you see? I like you. I like you. I like you.
Una Rams representing South Africa on the playlist. This one titled I Like You. I like 2026. I like the start of 2026. That's just me. It is the 5th of January, 2026. Happy New Year if you've just joined us. And I think we'll be saying that for the next month. Just putting it out there. If you do hear Happy New Year and you're like, but we're already into the new year, Shayla, it's 15 days, it's 17 days. Well, it's the first time we come into contact, okay? And we want to wish you a prosperous, a blessed, a beautiful, and amazing, a flabbergastingly beautiful year ahead. That's what we want for you. A few seconds before top of the hour. It's been a very interesting first hour looking at football and resilience and merging two conversations through wise counsel that came through sports psychologist Bill Beswick.
Conversations that touch the heart and inspire change. Here on African Diaries, only on Channel Africa. Join us on www.channelafrica.co.za.
It is the second hour of African Diaries. If you've just joined us, thank you so much for choosing us over the rest. DSTV's 802 is where you find us. If not, 6 to 8 on OpenView HD. In this hour, we are going to be seeing how resilience doesn't just live with the millennials and beyond. 17-year-old superstar in my books who resides in Tembisa. Her name is Keamohetswe Khotso. And Madame Khotso will be joining us to explain to us how this e-waste cycling company that was established through a competition that looked at green circular economies and how she is now flourishing, taking some of those electronics, the wasted electronics, the batteries, okay, the old cell phones. I don't think people throw cell phones away, but you never know with people. The old electronics that you're saying, I need to get rid of this, but I was also told I can't throw it in the dustbin. These are the folks that come and collect those. And they refurbish, they recycle, they repurpose. And I think that is a brilliant idea for the context of South Africa and beyond, if you ask me. I'd love to hear from you this evening. How are you doing? How was the entry into 2026? Are we hopeful? Are we excited? Are we looking to develop self, to develop community through developing self? Find us on WhatsApp +27 6340 69126.
The voice of the continent, now online, with all your sports fixtures, lifestyle, and more. Africa Speaks on African Diaries with Shayla Ndikumana. tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
C'est pas né plus rampé, c'est pas y masser, c'est pas y causer, so criou amis. Ça fait ouais des côtés qui m'ont gagné, qui m'ont yé mon vivre. Les autres connaissent, autres logués back for. Ça fait ouais des qui m'ont yé, qui m'ont fait li, qui m'ont yé mon arrive là. Les autres connaissent, autres logués back for. Autres logués, gayé, autres logués, gayé, oh logués, autres logués back for. Oh, autres logués, hey, hey, autres logués, hey, hey, autres logués, autres logués back for. Y'en a qui t'y pourrir, si des victimes en Goliath. Avec sa stone, ben moi worry, mon papa give up. Jusqu'à l'air m'arrive home, non mon papa capable de sauter zalou. Zalou n'a pas guérison ni finition zalou. Zalou y'a pas fait ou koulou camarade zalou. Zalou y'a fait ou mettre la corde tous les coups. Hey, relax ou les commandes, espère ou tout man. Après moi pendant ou tout man, si c'est la même dans allant tout man. Espère ou tout man, si c'est dans allant tout man. Demain y'a l'autre sous. C'est pas né plus rampé, c'est pas y masser, c'est pas y causer, so criou amis. Ça fait ouais des côtés qui m'ont gagné, qui m'ont yé mon vivre. Les autres connaissent, autres logués back for. Ça fait ouais des qui m'ont fait li, qui m'ont yé mon arrive là. Les autres connaissent, autres logués back for. Oh, autres logués, gayé, autres logués, gayé, oh logués, autres logués back for. Oh, autres logués, hey, hey, autres logués, hey, hey, autres logués back for. Hey, bataille y'a mon lait de wapé moi. Devant mon bon Dieu y'a fait blesse moi. Mon compte mon blessing, mon papa vient faire ses années. Lola dame qui n'a pas respect, mon levé mon piale. Non mon papa est resté, non mon papa est resté. Oh, saute l'orgueil, gayé, saute l'orgueil, gayé, oh l'orgueil, saute l'orgueil back for. Oh, saute l'orgueil, hey, hey, saute l'orgueil, hey, hey, saute l'orgueil back for.
Beautiful music taking us to Seychelles. That one by Elijah, and that one titled Espère Tutoir. Before that, we had beautiful music, still keeping us in the southern region of Africa, where we broadcast live from. That was Malik alongside Ringo Madlingozi, and that one titled Mtulise. In Kiswahili, you'd say Bembeleza. That's a way of soothing someone, soothe this person. That song released in 2009. A whole context for you to explore when it comes to that song. If you've just joined us, welcome to it. This is African Diaries. Shayla Ndikumana with you until midnight in Central African Time.
9 to 12 midday Central African Time. On the move with Palisa Tau and Benjamin Mushatama.
Now, when you go to the hospital, there's medical attention that you need, and that's the only experience you're expecting to have. If you are a transgender person, sometimes those experiences can be marred by the demand of trying to understand your gender, your sexuality, and not particularly getting the assistance that you need.
One time, I was sexually abused by someone who used to live next door to my house. So when I went to the police to report, I was in a weave, I was wearing a dress, and when I got there, the police person that helped me said to me, obviously we're gonna rape you because why do you walk around looking like trying to be a woman when you are a man? And after that, the person just walked scot-free.
How do you deal with that? Because there's a double barrel abuse there. So it's not even double barrels. There's kind of multi-dimensional forms of abuse.
I think one thing that I will tell you about trans people is we are strong, not because we want to be strong, but because we don't have an option. It is what it is. Because the struggles that we face each and every day are like unimaginable.
Keeping you on the know and on the move.
Let's just do it.
Your life just got easier. Get the Channel Africa app and take us wherever you go. Catch the latest news, enjoy your favorite shows, stream the music you love, and stay connected to the continent. All in one spot, right in your pocket. Simple, quick, and always with you. The Channel Africa app. Download it now on iOS and Android. From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
12 after 11 p.m. Central African time. Thank you so much for choosing us over the rest. Time for us to touch base with the co-owner of an e-waste business that's based in Tembisa, South Africa, Tembisa, Gauteng, South Africa, with fellow scholars. And we'll get into, of course, those behind the business in just a short bit. I want to give the context for e-waste. If you're thinking to yourself, Sheila, what is e-waste? It's electronic waste. This refers to discarded or unwanted electrical and electronic devices, including mobiles, chargers, computers, laptops, TVs, radios, batteries that we were told not to throw in the dustbin, so nobody really knows where to put them at this stage, and household electronics. We're going to be speaking to Kemohetswe Khotso, who's going to be telling us about this particular business that won a competition that was aimed at school children on green circular economies. She's only 17 and this year she will be getting into her matriculant year. So that proves to be exciting as well. Kemohetswe, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to African Diaries.
Hi, how are you?
I am fantastic. Listen, you're sitting there at age 17 and you have a business, and I'm thinking, what was I doing at 17? You know, like, where was I? What was going on? Ma'am, you need to walk me through the context. So let's say the teachers present this competition, right? You, Tsepo, and Sophia get together and you guys just decide that you're going to create an e-waste business. Where did that idea come from?
Well, it actually started when we went to watch the movie first. We saw like they were identifying a lot of problems there, like plastic waste, paper waste, all those different kind of everyday basic waste. And then after the movie, they were like, okay, just come up with a business idea on how we can work on reducing all of that waste, right? And then we went home and then we sat down and then we were like, I see there's plastic waste, there's paper waste, there's, all those different kind of waste. Why not find the waste that is not common, right? And then we went to the internet. Obviously, we searched which waste is the fastest growing stream. And then we saw that e-waste is actually the fastest growing stream. And then we were like, okay, let's come up with a solution because now we have the problem. Then that's how the business came about. We actually find a problem, then we were able to identify the problem, and then we found a solution for it.
And coming together, you, Tsepo, Sophia, what did you decide that the name of the business would be?
We first started, we named the business first. It was Recycling E-Waste, but we changed it to E-Waste Recyclers because we thought recycling e-waste, it's not youth, it's not us. So let's just transform to recycling e-waste. To e-waste recyclers.
Fair play. And I want to find out from you, Akia, did you know where to throw the batteries before you started this business, before you went to go watch the movie?
No, not at all. I didn't know where should I throw the batteries because it has a sign that we shouldn't throw them in the bin. So I was like, where should we throw them now?
And Kia, now that you've started your business, you've established it, where are we supposed to throw these batteries? Where do we put them?
So we are actually planning on having like a a drop-off spots, but we're doing pickups, like household pickups. We would go to houses, and then we do household pickups. We collect that e-waste, and then we assemble it according to the categories. For example, if ever like we got a cell phone has a cover, has a lot of different components, and then we assemble those different components into their categories, and then we take those components to the different waste collectors. For example, if ever we found plastic in that cell phone, we take it, or glass, the screen, we take it to that glass collector.
And then let's talk about coming together practically, right? It's just the three of you, is my understanding. And you go from house to house. How do you sort after all those goodies that you've collected? You know, how long is the process? You know, the few times that you have done it, what were some of the things that you did find as well?
Okay, so me and my other two team members, we live in different neighborhoods, right? So one would collect where she lives, I would collect where I live, and the other one would collect where she lives. Then we all do the collection, and then we come with them. And then after coming with them, for example, if the three of us found, maybe one found a toaster, I found a kettle, and then the other one maybe found a kitchen appliance, right? We put them, kitchen appliance, TVs, cell phones, we assemble them like that. And then that's where we start with the processing. We assemble from the kitchen appliances to maybe the bedroom appliances. That's how we do it.
Sure. The voice there of the co-founder of e-waste recycling, that is Keamohetso Kgotso, joining us this evening. And we're talking about this beautiful, brilliant idea that came about midst three brilliant students. After watching a movie, this was a part of a program that focused on green circular economies. And essentially, they were tasked with coming up with a solution to a problem that we see in our society. And they decided, listen, we're going to help you recycle those cell phones, those TVs that you don't want, the computers, the laptops, the little gizmos and gadgets that you're like, this doesn't work anymore. They are your folks. They come, they collect, and they repurpose, refurbish, and really piece together what once was very wasteful, if you will, and turn it into something useful, or recycle it so that it can recreate something useful. It is a few seconds before 20 past 11 p.m. Central African time. We're going to take a quick breather. When we get back, we wrap up conversations with Gia.
Africa Update on Channel Africa with Lulu Kabu.
Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi now accused Rwanda of violating the peace deal. Are you surprised at this latest accusation? This is literally days after a signing a ceremony, so to speak.
This is not surprising. I mean, if you ask Paul Kagame, he would also say almost the same thing. One should ask a question. The broker of the peace deal, President Trump, what is it that he wants? Why now? And why is this peace deal being signed in the Americas and not in the Great Lakes? Paul Kagame has never respected Tshisekedi, as often say. Tshisekedi must deal with the problems in his country. He has nothing to do with it. So this peace deal, obviously, when it was signed, one just looked at it and said, this will not last.
Kenny Matiba, former journalist.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African Time. The sound of Africa is evolving. Experience our new mobile app. Free to download, free to connect. Africa's heart beats one story at a time. On African Diaries with Shayla.
21 after 11 p.m. Central African Time. Still in conversation with Keamohetso Kgotso, the co-founder of e-waste recycling. And this is a business that looks to repurpose, to recycle, to refurbish old cell phones, chargers, computers, laptops, TVs, radios, batteries. Batteries has been a pain point for me for a very long time, but now we have a solution to it, as well as household electronics. Gia, you are now stepping into matric, right? Running a business, being a matriculant. How are you going to juggle that?
I quite don't have a plan yet, but my friend and I were actually thinking of like slowing down a bit so that the outside work doesn't clash with our school work, because we still have next year. So it's just, let's just take a break for now and then we'll continue afterwards, because I wouldn't want to fail my matric. It would be such a devastating act. Yeah.
And Kia, after matric, what do you want to do? What's the aspiration?
I want to become a civil engineer or a biomedical engineer. I'm not quite sure which engineering field I'm going to go for.
And what are we studying? What are the sciences that we're studying towards that right now?
You mean the subjects that I'm taking right now?
Yes.
I do pure maths, physical science, life sciences, and geography.
Gail, we want all the best for you. And if you do believe that taking a break is what you need in order to get yourself going so that the business can be sustained, then please do exactly that, right? From the African Diaries team, we are so proud of you. At your tender age, you're bringing solutions that are much needed. Well done to you and your team.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening as well. Hopefully we haven't kept you past your bedtime. I know it's still holidays, but still, okay? We want you to go rest now. The voice there of Kemohetswe Khotso joining us, the co-founder of E-Waste Recycling. And this is a recycling business that looks to facilitate recycling around mobile cell phones, chargers, computers, laptops, TVs, radios, batteries, and household electronics. My question to you this evening, and I'm asking this because I know that tomorrow we'll still have the question, where do you put the batteries that you are done with? The ones that have run out of power, the ones that can no longer charge and power your electronics. Where do you put them? Where do you put those gizmos that you once bought and you thought you were going to be using, but for some odd reason they've collected dust and now they're sitting somewhere far away, and you're now cleaning the clutter and you find this gizmo, you find this gadget and you're like, I don't need it. Where do you throw it? That's my question to you this evening. Let's be honest. Find us on WhatsApp +27 6340 69126.
Africa Speaks on African Diaries with Shayla Ndikumana.
Unzima ubomi ungalahli ithemba, abantu bohleka mawungahluleka. Unzima ubomi ungalahli ithemba, abantu bohleka mawungahluleka. Mawungaphelele endleleni, wena ungafele emadelweni, abantu bohleka mawungahluleka. Mawungaphelele endleleni, wena ungafele emadelweni, abantu bohleka mawungahluleka. Nkosi, noma ngihlupheka lapha emhlabeni anginanda. Nkosi, mhlawumbe ngiyobusa ezulwini mangifika lapho. Nkosi, noma ngilambile lapha emhlabeni anginanda. Nkosi, mhlawumbe ngiyosutha ezulwini mangifika lapho. Ngiya ngithembile laluphumule baba, ngiya ngithembile uma uyakhumbula. Sisibhale emehlweni, sisumvashele, angeke ngize ufike lo mhlaba unzima kodwa ngiyosa nje ezulwini ma ngifika lapho ma ungaphelele endleleni wena ungafele emadlelweni abantu bohleka ma ungahluleka ma ungaphelele endleleni wena ungafele emadlelweni abantu bohleka ma ungahluleka
Zungalahle lelo themba njalo Zungaphela umoya mjakaba noma ngizima wena diyabalaza bazofika vela banamanga bethi ithemba likho ngoba sebalala vele impilo inzima nami ngiyazi sikhule ngakho phela ukuzabalaza siphila impilo yamahashahasha zange sami iphupho thanda ukushabalala manje ngithi beka ithemba lakho kumdala noma kunzima kanjani noma kuthanda ukuba mnyama kuzokhanya ungalinge nje uphele namandla vele konke sikwenzayo sikwenzela abantu bazohleka mawuhluleka manje mina elami lithi phokophela mntaka baba umdalo uyophendula mnyazi
abantu bohleka ma ungahluleka ma ungaphelele endleleni wena ungafele emadlelweni abantu bohleka ma ungahluleka
Cheers to rest and renewal. Festive African greetings from Channel Africa. Go on, download the Channel Africa app. Africa Speaks on African Diaries with Shayla Ndikumana.
E beijaste a minha boca. Quando dei por mim eu já tava com a tua roupa. Os teus planos são os meus, nós amamos na vida louca. Paixão, gemidos e vinho é nossa onda. Ai, 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 a noite toda. Mas o que aconteceu? Onde foi a ternura? Dizias que eras meu, sempre foste da rua. Quem é ela? Quem é ela? Eu preciso saber se era apenas uma ou se deitavas com qualquer mulher. Não encosta no meu peito, não diz que vai dar tudo certo. Vai e comete uma loucura.
The story that moves the continent. It's on African Diaries on Channel Africa.
Good morning, baby, how you do? Sorry, you're fine, gone singing this for you. My Sherry, tell me how you do. So, mommy, this one is for you. Oh, yeah, Sherry, I don't get. Be I don't get. Sure, my lord. Oh, yeah, Sherry, I don't get. Be I don't get. Sure, my lord. Oh, yeah, Sherry, I don't get. Be I don't get. Oh, yeah, wake up. Here's your tea. Oh, yeah, drink up. You don't need the makeup. Them be vex, them won't make you break up. See, you be my princess. Suffer one, but together we make sense. Worry one knock out with your send. That come as a nonsense. Take this ring, go. Be with me for better, for worse, so I go love you tomorrow. Titi life forever beyond, oh. You know that I got you. Anything where you want, I go buy too. Oh yeah, Shabby, I don't get. Sure, my darling. Good morning, baby, how you do? Sorry, you're fine, gone singing this for you. My Sherry, tell me how you do. So, mommy, this one is for you. Oh yeah, Shabby, I don't get. Be I don't get. Sure, my darling. Oh yeah, Shabby, I don't get. Be I don't get. Sure, my darling. Oh yeah, Shabby, I don't get. Be I don't get. You go be catch, I go be JJ. If we born boy, you go be AJ. I am Mefa, kudu made. And if your love is a crime, I go jail. See from here to London, unwrap you, I lick you like Tom Tom. I go love you even for junction. You got my attention. Your loving you put me at ease. I swear you they give me peace. Capture my heart, you they cure my disease. Love me, never leave me, please. You know that I got you. Anything where you want, I go buy too. Oh yeah, Shabby, I don't get. Sure, my darling. Good morning, baby, how you do? Sorry, you're fine, gone singing this for you. My Sherry, tell me how you do. So, mommy, this one is for you. Oh, yeah, Sherry, I don't get. Be I don't get. Sure, my darling. Oh, yeah, Sherry, I don't get. Be I don't get. Sure, my darling. Oh, yeah, Sherry, I don't get. Be I don't get. When you hold me, I can feel your heartbeat. You set my body and my soul and my emotions free. And this is real. My fantasies you may fulfill. Good morning, baby, how you do? Sorry, you're fine, gone singing this for you. My Sherry, tell me how you do. So, mommy, this one is for you. Oh yeah, Sherry, I don't get. Be I don't get. Sure, my darling. Oh yeah, Sherry, I don't get. Be I don't get. Sure, my darling. Oh yeah, Sherry, I don't get. Be I don't get.
This one taken off an album titled The Son of a Carpenter. This one released in 2012. Good Morning by Brimo. Before that, we had Anna Joyce coming through with Medo, taking us to Angola, and kick-starting off the triple play, we had Ubomi. This was by Dual M featuring Zakwe. If you've just joined us, it is 23 minutes before the show comes to an end. Thank you so much for choosing us over the rest. Welcome to African Diaries, exclusive to Channel Africa. Find us on DSTV's 802, if not 628 on OpenView HD. I asked a question. I said, listen, we're talking e-waste. And I see cell phones, I see laptops, I see motherboards, I see electrical appliances. I want to know where you throw the batteries. Where do you throw where do you throw the charges that say you cannot throw them in the dustbin? This has been a very interesting conversation, and I say this because usually amidst the people, when you ask this question, everybody just murmurs away. And then a new question comes on because no one really has the answer. Okay, so I'm going to be giving you a few spots where you can deposit these batteries. If you're thinking to yourself, Shayla, I buy batteries all the time. I use them in various appliances, and when I'm done, I'm stuck. Almost to say I don't know where to put them. And sometimes I put them in places where they're not supposed to be. I asked this question on social media, particularly on TikTok, and a new conversation sprouted out about the business of e-cycling and how it's profitable. Did you know, currently in South Africa, that 1 gram of gold, and this comes from a message, in actual fact, a comment on TikTok, comes in at the whopping cost of 4,200. I want to verify facts there because I'm like, wait a minute, what? 1 gram of recycled gold is at 4,200 rand. Yeah. While you think on that, while I think on that, while we all think on opportunities to make money, let's take a break.
Across Africa, communities rise with the promise of clean water and clean sanitation. The African Union's 2026 theme calls us to action.
It's about mobilizing real commitments, securing climate-resilient water and sanitation projects, and ensuring that water becomes a driver of sustainable development and prosperity across the continent.
A landmark moment, not only for Africa, but for the global movement for access to safe water for all.
Assuring sustainable water availability for every home, every village, every nation. This is the Africa we want.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
The Morning Switch Weekend with the Shy Guy.
There's a Ugandan lawmaker. His name is Atkins Katusabe, who speaks with an American accent in Parliament. So the parliamentarians have complained that we don't understand what you are saying.
Listen to him.
Come on.
Mr. Speaker, I think this is a disaster that could cause an extinction of our entire community. Going to procedure?
Mr. Speaker, the English that is trying to put this matter here is confusing a number of us and making us miss very serious issue. He needs to speak the common English of Uganda. The English is too much.
Need a piece of paper so that we'll be able to read. The English is too much. I picture him saying order, out of order.
Saturday and Sunday mornings belong to the Morning Switch. 3 to 6 a.m. Central African Time. Africa Speaks on African Diaries with Shayla Ndikumana.
Tenu moya kubantwana bakho njengokuba wenzile nakimi ono mono magayeka wena moya magayeka
Unimeta fuminimeta ilimeta autometa. Shout out to my family and my man them. To the ones where they sing my song and the ones that dance along. From Lagos, Nigeria down to South Africa. We the big, I want them in bachelor. No wahala, I get the money for Waza. On my prayer salsa, I go celebrate and dance.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
There I go, meta, moto meta, amo meta, money enter, loli meta, fumini meta.
Zumala fitema, kuna seku dolunga, begezela siyabona. Mabelela kulungile, ngalinge uyeke, kuna seku setuzane. Uwenzile kimi na kuwe kusowenza. Uwenzile kimi na kuwe kusowenza.
The story that moves the continent. It's on African Diaries on Channel Africa.
Roi Manitou Ludovic Biart, le sel vigneron congolais. Effervescence plus. Roi Manitou, lui, c'est la définition de l'effervescence. Yole Kibango. Patrick Mouyaya Benoît, Président Picho Nyongoni, Eric Fourilier, Blessing Kitche, belle-sœur Dadi Yoka, Dédé le banquier.
Manitou photo souvenir, Ata Enzuluki, le roi Babwa Kakate oh. Et pourtant façon nazolela, le roi Yozo Yoka Yozo qui pété. Le roi Manitou yakotala ngai omona ndenge misuni na mikuwa ezosila ngai mopepa kaina eleka yawe le roi Manitou yakotala ngai nandimi teke yo kondima komona ngai Manitou na placard na ngai bilamba nazolata ezotika ngai souci etongeli bonheur lilita sonketuna avis déterminatif aliwa
Clary Lobota
Ludovic Biart yakotala ngai nandimi teke yo kondima komona ngai le roi Manitou
Ludovic Biart, papa na Annabelle. Au Vatican, Manitou, je salue la reine Manitou. NAS, il n'y a pas de roi sans reine. Ludovic Biart, le fils du bourgeois, papa Martin Biart. Et bon, nani. Horizon Massamba, horizon net. Ismaël Ier, Dieu Yamouzé, Nadia Paipai.
Sotima ya miseza lilisiba ya betesa enamu bonini lisuma ya bolingo etingami na nzoto elewa emame sotima ya miseza lilisiba ya betesa enamu bonini lisuma ya bolingo etingami na nzoto eso esa bolingo liesovenga na place ya ambulance la morgue à bolingono injecté ma poison na place ya formol nuit mortuaire à love nanga ye oulie bamela café bameli whisky kuna na cimetière ebembe nanga endommagé nécropole s'écoulé souka na tragédie e mame bébé nanga ye Manitou motema privilège mon cœur epesa yo endimi boma bolingo no pourquoi mbeye déception bolingo no ekati mon cœur sokima ya miso ezali lisiba ya betise namour boninge lisuma ya bolingo etingami na nzoto lewa
Tuturoba Isebola, Yalui Blaise Londolé, Bobolanga, mon colonel Tony Pembe le grand bois.
Catastrophe alarme kokeri kweleli moto alamuki te moyebimi kasi ndoki azali kopimbwa mokili ekamwe te eske loi epermeta koboma moto na bolingo nga nakomi victime d'amour mame deja nakota lilita me motema eza kobeta paske bolingo nanga opesi moto mosusu le roi na ngai lifelo ata ebongwani paradis sheri nakokota te eza lokola satan bongoli motema manitu moto akondima te priorita motema nanga eza yo le roi manitu pourquoi visa lilita manitu opesi bebe na yo ye mame bebe na ngai kombo na ngai eske otiaki yango na liste ba sex friend epota ya yo natia na motema catastrophe alarme akokeri kweleli moto alamuki te moyo ebimi kasi ndoki azali kopimwa mokili ekamwe te eske loi epermeta koboma moto na bolingo nga nabimi nde victime ya lamour sheri na ngai bebe na ngai roi manitu Ludovic Biart bebe na ngai amisinzao sheri na ngai manolo vaka bebe motema henri mikombe sheri ya ngai motema na ngai Christelle Pira mama Courtenay Pepito Kilala Falcon Madrizi Kenzo d'amour Titi Kula Titi Kuchi Freddy Peugeot Kirke Blonde ma gloire Panda Deluxe Gili Moko Eric Kasso
Roi Manitou, this one by Fali Ipupa, released on the 2nd of November 2018. This can be found on an album titled Control. And this so happens to be Fali Ipupa's one of Fali Ipupa's studio albums released in the year 2018. Before that, we had Meta and that song by Nomcebo Zigode alongside Fireboy, DML, as well as Sophia and Zhao. And that song released in 2024 as a single. It is 9 minutes before the show comes to an end. A quick breather, then we touch base with Morris Touch.
Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Africa Speaks on African Diaries with Shayla Ndikumana.
8 minutes before the show comes to an end, Morris Touch of the Afro Republic is on the other side of the line. Morris, good evening.
Talk to me about Shayla Ndikumana. I'll tell you of a fantastic radio presenter that I know. Yeah, Shayla, how are you doing?
New week, new me. I've decided that's me for the next 52 weeks. New week, new me, all the time, all day, every day. I'm excited, Morris. It has been an interesting show. We spoke about a few realities, one of resilience, looking at the context of Venezuela, and we spoke to the ambassador of Venezuela to South Africa. We also looked at AFCON 25-26, round of 16 currently underway, and we're seeing some progress taking place. Bafana is out, Tanzania is out, and you know that has brought a level of sadness. Mozambique looks like it's on its way out as well. And so that was a conversation in the first hour. In the second hour of the show, we spoke to a 17-year-old who's starting an e-recycling business. And she did this with two of her peers. And it was really interesting to see that a lot of adults don't know where to throw batteries. Morris, do you know where to throw your batteries? Let me ask you.
Yeah, I actually learned that late as well. you know, that we don't use the very same bin that you, because at the end of the day, once it gets to the main dumping area, it becomes hazardous to the environment. So you have to at least give it to those that have areas where they dispose those batteries, or some of these guys would recycle them. There's always a way, but it's not advisable that you use your domestic bin or garbage bag to throw things like batteries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff that becomes hazardous to the environment.
Morris, now that you have safely brought awareness to how to deal with these electronics, walk us through what we can expect on the Afro Republic.
When you played Fali Pupa, I just went back and I remember there's a song that I love from Fali Pupa. It's actually from 2018. It's from the album Power Kosaleka Volume 1. And the track that I love there, you should play that track. It's a beautiful track, beautiful love track. It's called Service. It's one of those that you need to have. If you believe and you love Fali Pupa, yeah, that track is one track that you should have on your playlist when you're driving around Joburg. Joburg always gives fantastic drives, and listen to that song. You will thank me later. So, yeah, talking of Afro Republic, fantastic lineup of music, trust me. We've got so much. We're talking about trending stories within the continent of Africa. I like the idea of you talking, you had a conversation around AFCON, and I was just thinking, who are you putting your money on, Shayla?
I'm going to be biased.
Yeah.
I'm sworn between three countries.
Yeah.
So we've got Morocco, Senegal, and Nigeria.
Yeah. I've got Senegal. I'll be so happy if the DRC proceeds. I will be the happiest man. And I've got a very strong feeling that the DRC will proceed to the quarterfinals.
Okay.
Semi-final. Yeah. I still have my money on the DRC. Because
Interesting.
in this group that we have now, I think the underdogs were Tanzania, DRC. They still had that underdog tag on them. So yeah. But I'll go with DRC, and I'll also go with Senegal.
Okay, Morris, so you're going to be touching on trending stories. We've got AFCON, of course, something that you're going to cover, but also beautiful music. And we cannot wait to hear that. Morris, thank you so much for joining us. That is Morris Touch of the Afro Republic. He takes over at the top of the hour. From the team and I, has been an absolute pleasure keeping you company this evening. Just to thank the team, we had with Tibi Hlungwane, and then we had Elaine Vengani on digital. On technical, we had Tumelo Mukwena, and on production, we had Muleheng Sehome. The name is Shayla Ndikumana, and until tomorrow, please do take care. Cheers.
From Cape